And holy moly. Okay, we have Liam, CJ, Dennis, Heather, Rory, and Jamie on.
Hello again.
Sounds like a party over there.
Collective crew. We're having a party for St. Patrick's Day, so I thought I'd bring a few friends.
Yeah. Alright, good to bring a little Ireland to the show. This is not a little Ireland. This is a lot of Ireland. We have a lot of callers from this one line, so. I got a real
Go first. Okay. Alright, Jamie?
Okay, so my question is, what do you think of The Undertaker, and what was your favorite match with The Undertaker?
I always had a lot of respect for Undertaker. He was always a real pro's pro in there. He was always a good guy, safe guy to wrestle. It was always, he was a pro all the way through it. I got nothing but the highest respect for him as a wrestler. I would consider him one of the top workers that I ever had the pleasure of being in the ring with. As for my favorite match, I always loved the match I had over in England with the Birmingham one night only match, but my favorite was the SummerSlam a few months before that, where Sean was involved as the referee, and where I won the title for the fifth time. I thought that match was just a masterpiece of timing, and we worked really hard. And Undertaker, I had so much respect for him after. There's a scene in Wrestling with Shadows where I come back after that match and I can barely. It was such a physical match and we worked so hard. I can just remember dropping my boot off barely being able to pull it off my feet. And was always a great memory, just knowing how hard we worked together and how much good chemistry we had in the ring.
All right, Dennis, go.
Hello, Mr. Bret Hart. Since it's WrestleMania season, I thought it would be very appropriate to ask you, what was your favorite WrestleMania match that you ever participated in, whether it be main event or your match against Owen, or any the other WrestleMania match that you've seen, like a WrestleMania match that you've seen that you haven't participated in, it's a variant question of the same thing.
Well, I had some really good matches at WrestleMania. I had my match with my brother Owen was good. I think the match I had with Yokozuna in Las Vegas, where I lost the title to him, was probably the best match that Yokozuna ever had. That was another great match. I think the best match I ever had, though, was, it'll probably have to be the Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels. Either that or the match with Steve Austin. I don't know which one I could say is better, and these are both artistically two of my better matches, where it's two different kind of opponents, but they're both as good as matches I ever had with anybody, for sure.
Heather?
Hi Brett, I'm literally shaking. I've been a massive fan of yours since right back in '89, and I think you are definitely one of the best of all time. And I would just like to ask you if you have any memories from when you were wrestling Mr. Perfect, because I always thought you had the most amazing chemistry together.
I had some great matches with Kurt. Probably the best matches we ever had were not filmed, or at least not very often. And that was probably before SummerSlam. We wrestled each other for about a year and a half, off and on, in different cities across North America, mostly North America, where we just had great matches every night. And I had one that I wrote about in my book in particular that was in Anchorage, Alaska, that I think was by far the best match we ever had. The SummerSlam match I had with him was a very good match, but Kurt was actually injured pretty bad at the time and was limited with a lot of what he could do as far as his back went. And the match I had with him a few years later at the King of the Ring was also another classic match.
Okay, CJ, go.
Yo, hit me. How you been, man?
I've been excellent.
Thank you. Awesome. This is my first time talking to you, and my question is, what was your favorite match that you had with your brother-in-law, Davey Boy Smith, British Bulldog? I mean,
I had two really outstanding matches with Davey. Both Davey in Hershey Park, Pennsylvania, where I was the in-your house match where I defended my title against him. And it was an awesome match that we had that day too, and we did a lot of things in that match that were new and innovative and things that nobody had seen before. And I think in a lot of ways that might have been the last really great match that Davey ever had. He had some great matches. He had some good matches with my brother Owen too around that time, and I think that would have been the last really great stuff that we got out of the Bulldog.
Roray, go.
Alright, Mr. Bret, it's an honor talking to you, and my question is, in the past, let's say a year or two, who is the person that WWE has dropped the ball with, in your opinion?
Geez, I can think of a few guys. I think the guy that comes to mind the most probably would be maybe Drew McIntyre a little bit. I think they need to step it up with him a little bit more. For some reason, it seems that as of late, Sheamus has been getting a little less attention than he deserves, and I don't know why that would be. But I don't know. I think even DiBiase and Cody Rhodes were stronger a year ago than they are now, and I think that these guys are all real talented guys that they've lost a little momentum. I think due to the sort of maybe the writing or the story writing or the booking, but you can't stop talent. I think it's just a matter of ramping up their profiles and doing a little bit more with them. I think the biggest example that I can think of of someone that was used wrong was maybe just a few days ago with the guy that I can't even remember his name. He had the Brodo something or the funny haircut.
Brodus Clay, is it?
Mohawk. Yeah, that's the guy. He had the mohawk, and I just thought he looked really impressive and looked like he could really work. He was doing a lot of really good stuff, and he looked really I don't know. It just seemed like he could have been a bit more of a monster and been more. I could see him working with a lot of different guys and having being sort of seen as a unstoppable force for a little while until somebody can stop him. And I love Christian and everything, and I'm glad he was at least that he was at least the guy that got his hand raised. But I don't know why they would beat a guy like that first day on TV. First chance he gets to be to establish himself in any kind of way at all, they pin his shoulders to the mat very first night. And I go, what's the point of that? So I think a lot of things like that. I think that's just my opinion. But big guys like that are less and less. You see less and less of them in business now. You see a lot of guys that have the same bodies. They all look at the the little six-pack abs, and they're all flipping, rolling around. It's not a whole lot of difference between the Kofi Kingstons and the John Morrisons and everybody. Are all starting to look the same. They all got the perfect little bodies and physiques, and I'm not criticizing them at all, but I think they stand out so much more when they're not so much when they're wrestling each other, but when they get to wrestle somebody that looks like Mabel or Yokozuna or King Kong Bundy, or don't forget that those guys are all big draws in their own way. They got a place in wrestling. It's not all for just little skinny guys.
Heather, just got one quick question, and then we'll let you go, Bret. Okay.
Sure. Good man.
I was just wondering what your favourite part of wrestling in England and Europe was.
It used to be the fans. I remember in all over the UK, like even in Scotland and Ireland, and fans would be waiting outside the hotels, and people be crowding outside the streets and singing chants and call my name and playing trumpets, and it was just always the fans over there were always so ramped up and full of heart, and I just always loved going over there and working there. And I had a similar type experience in Europe in general. I always had such great fans in Germany and Italy and Spain and Portugal, all over Europe, and it was always they were just always so passionate, and that I remember how much love I got from my fans over there, and I don't think I don't know that wrestlers today know what that's like the way I did, and I know that Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior and some of the guys that either came before me or came after me don't know what it was like to have that kind of fan base that I got in Europe, especially the UK.
Yeah, well, we never forgot you, and we'll always love you, Bret.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Connect to Allstate now for a free car insurance quote and save up to 20